and monitoring facilities occupancy rate, percentage ng mga contact na na-trace, numero ng mga specimens na na-collect at na-test mula sa komunidad. Lahat ng ito po ay may impact sa critical care utilization rate at positivity rate ng Cebu. Kailangan din po natin matuto mula sa naging experience ng National Capital Region noong late March sa pag-a-address ng COVID cases sa Cebu. Kailangan natin pag-igiran ang triage ng mild cases sa mga temporary treatment and monitoring facilities, i-increase ang bed capacity at magdagdag pa ho ng health human resources for health. Kahit ang simpleng pagvo-volunteer na ma-deploy sa Cebu para sa ating mga healthcare workers ay napakalaking bagay na po para sa ating response. Bago po tayo magsimula sa ating segment sa araw na ito, ang kagawaran ay nagpapasalamat po sa ating magigiting na doktor, lalo na yung mga nagvo-volunteer na sumagot sa tawag ng pangangailangan ng ating health system habang ang bansa ay nasa state of public health emergency. Sila po ang mga tunay na bayani, lalong-lalo na sa mga panahong katulad nito. Ang bawat region po sa ating bansa ay may kakaibang dynamics at pangangailangan. Muli po, aalamin natin ngayon ang kasalukuyang sitwasyon ng Cebu City upang ma-identify kung paano makakatulong ang taong bayan. Upang bigyan po tayo ng mas malinaw na picture ng estado ng Region 7, kasama po natin ngayon si Assistant Secretary John G. Gonzales mula po sa Office of the Presidential Assistant for the Visayas Region. Narito rin po ang ilang mga experts mula sa medical at business sector na magbabahagi rin po ng kasalukuyang kaganapan ngayon sa Cebu at kung ano pong suporta ang kailangan nila. Asik John G., magandang hapon po.
Magandang hapon po, Yusek Bergeri. Magandang hapon po sa lahat ng mga tagapakinig mo. Viewers.
Good afternoon po, sir, and thank you for accommodating our invite para po mabigyan po natin ng kaunting impormasyon ang ating mga kababayan ukol po sa mga sitwasyon ngayon dyan po sa ating Region 7. So, I'll give you the floor para po makapagbigay ng impormasyon para sa ating mga kababayan. Asik John G.
First of all, Yusek Bergeri, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Dr. Mary Jean P. Loreche, Chief Pathologist and Official Spokesperson of DOH 7. Kasama po rin natin si Virgilio Nonoy Espeleta, Chairman ng Economic Development Committee, RDC 7, and immediate past President, Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Kasama po rin natin si Potenciano Yong Larazabal, the third, yung President and Chairman of Cebu Doc Group of Hospitals. Kasama niya, under niya yung Cebu Doc, Mactan Doc, North Gen, South Gen, San Carlos Doc, Ormoc Doc, and Bohol Doc. Ito yung mga kasama natin, Yusek Bergeri.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon po sa inyong lahat. Maraming salamat po sa inyo for accommodating po na makasama po namin kayo ngayong virtual presser natin. So, Asek John G., babalik ko po sa inyo para makapagbigay po kayo ng mensahe para po sa ating mga kababayan at tutuloy na po tayo sa mga pagsasalita at pagbibigay impormasyon ng ating mga bisita. Asek John G.
Salamat, Yusek. Itong March, when the President locked down Manila, Cebu and the rest of the Visayas followed suit. And when we saw what was happening in Manila, OPAB, under Secretary Michael Dino, as the President's arm in the Visayas, started coordinating with agencies to address immediate concerns and long-term needs for Visayas. Especially Cebu, where the first few cases entered in this part of the country. We made sure that Manila was unbothered since at that time, they were already handling the crisis. Cebu had to step up on its own another time, and we also had our initiatives, such as, according to Secretary Michael Dino, mentioned about this project ARC Zoom meeting a few days ago, and with RITF, which was attended by 6 visiting cabinet secretaries the other day, that we really need to look after our healthcare workers by giving them incentives. Ag magpapasalamat tayo, just today, Mayor Labella of Cebu City heard of this and he championed it and committed to giving our healthcare workers, lalo na yung mga nurses, incentives during this time of crisis. For this, we allocated a budget of around 60 million for 3 months. This will cover around 2,000 nurses in over 8 hospitals in Cebu. Ito yung mga nurses kasi, Yusek Bergeri, nagkaka-demoralize na kasi naglalagay yung DOH na mga nurses to the private hospitals. First time na nangyari sa Cebu na nagkaroon ng mga nurses from the public sector na i-deploy sa mga private hospitals. Ang problema, nagkaka-demoralize yung mga workers sa private hospitals because of salary disparity. Kaya si Mayor Labella, after nanawagan si Secretary Mike Dino to help the private hospital nurses, provided this incentive. One thing that we also did and is doing now is to provide malasakit buses ni Tatay at Kuya, buses used to ferry health workers to and from the hospitals so that the hospital operation will not be hampered by the ECQ. Ang ginagawa rin natin dito sa Cebu ay pag-distribute ng PPEs including coveralls, goggles, and face masks all over Visayas. LGUs and hospitals, public and private, all over the 3 regions of the Visayas were distributed by OPAB. These were gathered from foundations and private sector partners, even from the national government na, sinabi nga ni Secretary Galvez, nagbibigay ng 20% of what is allocated for public, binibigay sa sa private sector. Isang ginagawa rin natin yung Project Balik Buhay. This is a convergence of OPAB, DOH, the Tri-Cities, and the business sector to get a picture of the real situation in Cebu, to implement measures that could shorten or gradually loosen the lockdowns and restart the economy. It involved Tri-Cities strategic mass testing and establishment of barangay isolation centers and quarantine facilities. Isang ginagawa rin natin sa OPAB yung convalescent plasma therapy na facilitated by sourcing of donors. At ito ay hihingi rin natin ng tulong from all the sectors kasi meron tayong mga reports na there is now middlemen doing the searching of this plasma and they are charged 12 to 20,000 pesos per donor. At sana ito ay masugpo with the blood donation drive that later on Dr. Loreche will be talking about. In order to sustain these initial efforts, OPAB in partnership with DOH and SWD7 will be conducting a blood drive. OPAB initiated repatriation efforts of more than 2,000 stranded individuals, foreign and domestic. Alam mo, Yusek Bergeri, OPAB is not just doing its work in Cebu, but the entire Visayas with 20 million Visayans. No? And the other thing that OPAB is doing is augmenting testing of mga test, no? Ramp up the testing of the laboratories. So ito yung mga ginagawa ng OPAB, Office of Presidential Assistant for the Visayas, Secretary Yusek Bergeri.
Yes, thank you very much, Asek John Gino, for that overview na ibinibigay po natin sa ating mga kababayan ukol dito po sa sitwasyon sa Cebu. So with your permission, Asek John G, tatawagin ko na po si Dr. Loreche para po makapagbigay naman po ng brief updates regarding the cases in Cebu. Dr. Loreche, can we have your presentation, please?
Yes, good afternoon po sa inyo, Yusek, at sa lahat po ng mga nanonood sa atin. I would like to give you an update, no, but the data that I am presenting is actually as of July 1. So gusto ko pong iklaro yan, the data that I am presenting is as of July 1. So the total confirmed COVID-19 cases is 9,018, no? So ang bago nating mga kaso ngayon is 358, and total active cases 2,368, total recoveries is 3,150, and total number of deaths is 303. So susunod po tayo doon sa isang slide ko. Makikita po natin, no? I'd like to go to the next slide, please. So I'd like to discuss the additional cases, no, as of reporting date of July 1. So makikita natin 358 po yung mga bago natin, and additional recoveries ay 176. So heto naman, when we talk about distribution, I'd like to focus on Cebu City. Kasi apparently, mukhang ang napapasabi ay ang epicenter ay ang Cebu City. No? So heto, ang total admitted natin ng mga kaso or patients in Cebu City is 1,560. Total active cases that are admitted. And then additional cases natin ay 48. In isolation naman po, ang total natin na active cases na isolated is 1,880. Ang additional cases ay 103. In terms of recovery naman po, 2,551. 162 ang additional recoveries natin. At sa mga mortality rate natin, 184 with an additional of 11. So susunod po tayo sa ating testing capabilities. Alam po natin, meron tayong 4 na accredited laboratories sa ngayon dito po sa Cebu. Ito po, namely ay ang Vicente Soto Medical Center, ang laboratory po natin sa Department of Health, sa TBNRL. Meron po tayong privado, ang Allegiant Regional Care or ang ARC na nasa Mactan, Lapu-Lapu. At ang ika-4 at pinaka-latest po ay yung nasa airport natin, ang sa MCIAA. Ngayon po, meron din po kaming report na meron naman po tayong mga pribadong mga ospital na may mga laboratories, molecular laboratories that are pending for accreditation na sa stages 3 and 4 and malapit na po sila sa 5 once they comply with 3 and 4 at ito po ay 5 po sila. So hetong latest natin as of July 1 na naman po, si Subnational Laboratory naglabas na po ng resulta na 1,171 at ito po ay 358 ang bagong mga positibo natin, 10 ang repeat natin, At saka ang sa negative natin 778 at ang repeat ay 25. Ito naman po si CTRL or yung sa ating Department of Health, 731 po ang ating na-release sa July 1, 229 po ang positive natin, 5 po ang ating repeat at 494 ang ating negative at saka sa repeat ay 3 naman po. Ito naman po si Allegiant Regional, kaya po wala silang resulta ng July 1 at July 2, I think, may problema lang po sa kanilang decontamination at meron silang mga ginagawang mga proseso to be able to prevent also any problems inside their molecular laboratory. Sundan po natin ang ating critical care utilization, dito sa regional naman. Tingnan natin po, na sa ating regional critical care utilization rate, mapapansin po natin if we peg it at 30% as our safety, mapapansin natin na nasa warning zone ang 70%. Pero po sa isolation beds naman natin, nakita natin 60% ang ating utilization. For the beds for severe cases, 59.5%. Ang beds for severe and critical cases, nasa 58.8%. Ang COVID ward po ay 58.3%, ICU is 49.6%, at ang mechanical ventilators utilization ay nasa 47%. So titingnan po natin ang sa pribadong ospital, So makikita po natin na sa ating critical care utilization rate ng ating private hospitals, mapapansin po natin mataas po ang kanilang utilization rate for isolation beds, reaching 76.8%. Kaya po palagi na babalitaan natin sa ating mga news, media outlets, na palagi sinasabi na heto nga ang Cebu City ay napakataas ng critical care utilization at nakakatakot daw po. Pero tingnan po natin ang datos natin. For beds for severe cases, 74.7%. Ang ating beds for severe and critical cases, 72.8%. Ang COVID ward ay 70% at saka ang ICU beds, 52.6%. Ang mechanical ventilators ay 52%. Now, gusto ko lang pong mag-comment dito sa critical care utilization. Tandaan po natin na heto pong sa pribadong mga ospital, depende po yan sa number of beds that they have allocated for COVID patients. So kung sakaling maliit po ang kanilang inallocate sa atin, madali pong mapuno yun. Because we also understand where the private hospitals are coming because they need to take care also of other non-COVID patients. So tingnan naman po natin ang ating temporary treatment and monitoring facility. Mapapansin natin na hetong ating TTMF po na monitoring natin for a daily, ang daily utilization nasa 64.53%, weekly is 36.48%, habang ang baseline natin ay 51.38%. Now, one way of doing, one of the solutions that we are really looking into for us to be able to decongest the hospitals, para bumaba po ang CUR nila, would be to really maximize the use of these TTMFs. So ano nga ba ang ating profile of admitted COVID-19 patients? Gusto ko din po ito i-discuss ngayon para maintindihan po natin kung nasaan ba at sino yung karamihan na nasa loob po ng ospital natin. So, titingnan po natin, under asymptomatic na confirm po natin, mapapansin natin na mild cases will occupy 324. Of the 597 confirmed, 324 are mild cases. At heto po sila ay naa-admit po. And our severe is only 168 at ang critical natin ay 39. Meron pa nga po mga asymptomatic na naa-admit sa ating mga ospital, accounting for 66 as of July 1. Now, sa mga probable cases naman po natin, ang naa-admit naman sa ospital, mapapansin natin, ang total admitted patients ay 321, asymptomatic is only 9, mild, again, comprises the larger number, 194, severe is 89, at ang critical ay 29. Now, for those that are suspected cases that are also admitted, 475. So, asymptomatic, 143. Ang mild natin will also comprise again sa bigger portion ng ating admissions, 202. Severe is 103 and then 27 yung ating critical. So, let's go to the Manpower Strength. Bago ako po magbigay kung ano po ang ginagawa ng Department of Health dito po sa Region 7, kaakibat po ng ating mga private hospitals, kung ano po ang aming mga action plans. So, Manpower Strength, mapapansin po natin yan sa mga doctors lang. Ang ating mapapansin, 16 po ang na-admit, 163 po ang naka-quarantinas, total of 179. So, ibig sabihin po, 1.46% po yung kakulangan natin in terms of doctors. Sa nurses naman po, isa po yung namatay, 38 po yung admitted, 391 po yung naka-quarantine, a total of 430, leaving us a gap of 3.52%. For others naman po, ito yung ating mga medical technologists, rad techs, housekeeping, and the rest, 43 naman po ang na-admit, 344 naman po ang naka-quarantinas, 387 ang total, so that accounts for 3.17% po ang ating unavailable na mga kasamahan po sa healthcare natin. So mapapansin din po natin sa ating numero dyan na meron po tayong available na 326 na specialista, 2,001 na doctors, 4,343 na mga nurses, at 79 na respiratory specialists, 756 na medical technologists, 332 na radiologic technologists, at other staffs comprising 4,387. So gusto ko lang po i-address muna ito. Una po sa lahat, part ng aming action plans para po matugunan po itong ating mga problema po dito. Una sa lahat, alam po natin, we have been capacitating ang Vicente Sotto. Ibig lang pong sabihin nito, si Vicente Sotto po ay naging COVID hospital na po dito sa Region 7 among the level 3 hospitals here na government, government run. At sa ngayon naman po, ang kanilang utilization ay tamang-tama lang. We still have ample beds and even ICUs and mechanical ventilators kasi ang ikinaganda po ng ating government institution ay we can easily convert additional beds. Additional ICUs can be dedicated to the COVID patients. Pangalawa po, we have also, our partner private hospitals has also given us, with the Department of Health, na they have increased their allocation for COVID patients. As a matter of fact, they have increased it by 30%. So para po madagdagan ang ating mga beds at magkaroon po tayo ng tamang-tama para sa ating mga pasyente. Thirdly, we would like, and part of what we are doing here is to be able to optimize the utilization of our community isolation centers. Kasi kung napansin po ninyo sa datos na ni-report ko, makikita po natin na marami pong mga mild to moderate cases na nasa hospital po. If all of these patients can actually be brought to the isolation centers or to the step-down facilities, malaking bagay po ito, So also, we would like to also say na we are trying to also manage the inflow and we are also facilitating outflow. Meaning to say, pagka medyo recovered na si patient, pwede na pong ibaba natin para hindi hintayin yung 14 days na kakailanganin niya in a hospital setting. And of course, Ang mga LGUs po natin, meron pong operation center upang magkaroon po ng trafficking of patients. Meaning to say, kung heto si pasyente A, galing po sa cluster clinic o galing po sa isang lugar, ay kailangan po ng admission at kailangan po ay sa hospital setting siya, ay yung operation center po siya ang magbibigay ng direksyon kung saan po dadalhin yung pasyente upang maibsan po yung waiting time sa emergency rooms o kaya naman para pumila at hindi na sila pumila ng matagal po doon at maasikaso naman sila. So I believe, no, ang Department of Health din po nag-deploy po tayo ng additional manpower to the private hospitals. Nagbigay po tayo ng mga PPE, sabi nga po ni Asek Junji kanina, nagbigay po tayo ng mga PPE sa ating mga pribadong ospital. As of today, ito po ang ating number of na i-deploy natin ng mga nurses sa ating mga partner private hospitals. Total number of 239 already. May additional pa tayong requests na mga around 28. Ang ating pong mga kasamahan sa Armed Forces of the Philippines, nagbigay po ng 6 na doktor, 6 na nurses, at 8 pong aid. No? At si Department of Health din po dito sa Region 7, nag-deploy na rin po kami ng 25 additional doctors at 2 pong deputized physicians. So having said that, I think that's my report for the status of Region 7, sa Cebu City particularly. I'd like to go to the next one, which is the convalescent plasma. Alam naman po natin lahat ngayon na lahat ay gusto ng convalescent plasma. Although gusto ko pong sabihin sa mga tagapagpanood, hindi pa po talaga proven na it's a treatment or a therapy for COVID-19. But then it has its own usefulness. That's why we are really promoting convalescent plasma. In my meeting attend this morning with the NVBSP and PBCC, I would like to announce already that the Subnational Blood Center, which is here and in the Department of Health, is the only licensed and authorized and accredited convalescent plasma facility. And so as such, the challenge is for us to be able to lead this program so that everybody would have a chance and an opportunity to have that most valuable plasma if they need it so. So ito po yung aming ginagawa ngayon. Meron po kami mga protocols and guidelines na ginawa. Kanina po, may meeting po ako kanina kasama ng ating mga LGUs, from Mandaue, from Lapu-Lapu, ang LGUs po natin, DILG, PNP, AFP po, at DSWD, at kasama po si OPAP nitong ating project for the convalescent plasma. Ngayon po, ginagawa po namin ang aming mga networking for this. Now, another thing is, we would like also to invite, heto nga po ang aming gustong iparating talaga, that blood is essential and vital, pero hindi po dapat ito binibenta. We should only accept voluntary blood donations. Ayaw po namin na ang dugo po ay ibenta kasi po it will destroy the programs that we have already been setting in place. Kaya nga namin gagawin itong magandang networking namin for the convalescent plasma because we believe that everybody has a right and should be given that opportunity for that basic and most essential commodity, and that is the plasma for those who will need it.
So, thank you very much, Dr. Loreche, sa pagbibigay po ng impormasyon sa kasalukuyang sitwasyon sa Cebu City. Nais lamang po naming inote at maintindihan po ng ating mga kababayan na maaring may bahagyang pagkakaiba sa mga numero na ipinakita po ni Dr. Loreche at sa numero na meron po tayo dito sa DOH Central Office sapagkat po ang ating regional offices ang mismong nasa ground at maaring may access sila first-hand sa information at data na hindi po ganong kadali na nakukuha dito sa Central Office at ibinavalidate pa ho ang mga numero dito. Our next speaker is Dr. Potenciano Yong Larzabal III, President and Chairman of Cebu Doc Group of Hospitals na magbibigay po sa atin ng update tungkol sa health capacity ng Cebu City Hospitals. Dr. Yong? Good afternoon po, Dr. Yong.
Okay, good afternoon, Yusek. Thank you for inviting me here.
Good afternoon, sir.
Can you hear me? Okay. So since the start of the pandemic, the private hospitals have only allotted a few number of COVID beds. And then when this started, we actually didn't have any patients. So we didn't really get much as far as beds were concerned. It was only after GCQ that the demand for the COVID beds increased. But the problem is, simultaneously, there were a lot of resignations because it made them a lot of nurses were afraid. No? So that's what happened. No? There was a sudden influx of patients, and most hospitals weren't prepared. It isn't that hospitals were full. It's just now we weren't able to allocate as much COVID beds as what we would have predicted to have happened. So can you show my slides? I have some slides. Okay, so we're first here is we're so thankful that the Army and Navy have sent doctors and nurses. No? This was taken the other day. This was this is a very big moral booster, no, to our current staff. No, it actually lifted the morale because we are low on nurses and we are low on doctors. So seeing them alone has made a big impact on the morale of our staff. No? Okay, next photo, please. Now, because the problem with the private hospitals, the ER, we had to subdivide the ER into a clean ER and a COVID ER. So, in effect, there were very few clean cases coming into the ER because most of the clean cases were afraid, not the patients. So what happened was a lot of ER COVID patients started coming in, but there were not enough ER beds. So a lot were waiting in the ambulances, no? And this was posted on social media, which alarmed further the public because you'll see patients na nakastay lang sa ambulance waiting for several hours. So what we did, with the help of OPAV provided us this tent and we constructed this, and this will be operational by tomorrow. This is ER bed for clean cases. So what happens is our main ER now becomes entirely a COVID ER. So in that case, this will have lesser patients waiting outside the ER. Most will be accommodated already inside the hospital. Next slide. Because there's a demand for COVID beds, we're continuously creating COVID beds. No? Like this case in Cebu Doctors University Hospital, we are making a 50-bed COVID charity ward. No? This will be done next week. No? Of course, we cannot open this until we get more support from DOH. No? DOH has promised to give us more nurses. As long as the DOH or the city can help us with more nurses and doctors, we can actually open more beds. No, that is our job as private hospital providers. No, to provide more beds for the community. No, we can do that. We just need help and support. Next slide. Because we are a branch of 7 hospitals, we have hospitals in Negros and in Leyte, no, that aren't as badly hit with COVID. So here are our volunteer nurses from Ormoc. No? They bravely came here to support the Cebu Doctor Group hospitals here in Cebu City. But they had a problem coming here, no, because of transport and clearances. So we're so thankful that OPAV helped us with this. No? They immediately were able to deploy the nurses here, and these were able to help our staff. No? So we're able to open more beds and to man more stations because of them. Next slide. Now, also, when the number of COVID regular beds also increase, naturally, exponentially, the critical cases also increase. No? So we've modified our ICUs here. This is a new ICU for COVID. On the left side are the cubicles. On the right side, where the nurses station is, it's totally walled off with windows so that consultants can come back in and out without having to change PPEs, so they can watch the patients from the window. So they're facing each other. Next slide. Now, this is how the COVID tent, the emergency room looks like now. No? So hopefully tomorrow we'll start receiving patients without COVID, and then we can separate already. Patients who are clean will go to this tent, and patients who have COVID will go to a regular ER already. That's 25 beds. Next. Okay, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're thankful that the DOH has sent us nurses already. They've so far sent us around almost 40 nurses, spread out to our different hospitals. It really helped us a lot. We were able to open more beds, but as mentioned by USEC John G earlier, that a lot of nurses were already comparing salaries because the salaries of the government nurses are already very high. But I've learned good news today. Mayor Labelle has mentioned that he might provide incentive of 10,000 pesos a month for the nurses in the private sector. So this will approximate already the salaries of the government wages. So this is a very big help for us as well.
So
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Potenciano Larzabal. Dr. Yong, maraming salamat. It is good to know that Cebu hospitals still have enough capacity to respond to the pandemic. So dahil po sa magnitude ng virus na ito sa ating bansa at sa buong mundo, ang impact na ito ay hindi lang po nakakaapekto sa health sector, ngunit pati na rin po sa ating ekonomiya. Upang makapagbigay po ng impormasyon ukol dito, kasama rin po natin ngayong hapon si Mr. Virgilio Nonoy Espleta, Chairman of the Economic Development Committee and the immediate past President of the Cebu Chamber of Commerce and Industry Department. Good afternoon po, Chairman Espleta.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me here. And here in the business sector, we have been really disrupted, and in fact, for 4 months already, we have not been operating some, except the essential businesses, but most of us are not operating our businesses. Well, COVID-19 started just before I ended my term as CCCI president, and I speak in behalf of our new president, Felix Tagyam, and the 900 member companies in all the citizens of Cebu to unite and work together in addressing this pandemic. Can I have my slide, please? We've been helping the government, the business sector. We've been consulted, and we have worked together with the Office of the Presidential Assistant. We had projects like the Project Palikbuhay, but there were many things that we would have wanted to do, but there were just a lot of circumstances that we were unable to really execute our plans because of certain issues. But now we have to work together in addressing this pandemic. We cannot be divided. We have to be united to have a collaborative, programs to save Cebu and the economy. We worked hard for years. While we thank the national government for the special attention and support, CCCI together with the church, the Cebu Medical Society, and are one in adopting a holistic, integrated, and collaborated approach. First and foremost, for the sharp, drastic reduction and flattening the curve of transmission. Second, a well-coordinated, informed, and enabled healthcare facilities, both for private and public, and strategic ramping up of the economy. We cannot just focus on the economy, but we need to look at the healthcare system as well as on the public side. And finally, also to also support our leaders, governance, and strong leadership support. The framework that I have presented here, we are adopting with the Cebu Chamber of Commerce, and we are trying also to, also use this in our collaboration efforts. This may not be exhaustive, however, this provides us with a checklist, a guide to determine what help is needed, from whom, to whom, and for other citizens and institutions to come in and offer help. We may not be able to do all of them, but we exhort those who are capable of helping to come forward to help, while we influence LGU in government agencies to execute the tasks under their mandate. In short, let us be partners in this endeavor. We are thankful that a movement is snowballing and gave birth to the Cebu Citizen Initiative. Next slide, please. If only I have time, I would have wanted to discuss the framework, but we are not in a seminar right now. But we've submitted the framework. I think even General Simato and have already copy of that, and the mayor as well. So we are thankful that the movement is snowballing and gave birth to the Cebu Citizen Initiative. This is a civil society campaign for unity and solidarity with Archbishop Jose Palma as our shepherd and servant leader volunteers from Kapisanan ng mga broadcasters ng Pilipinas, Cebu Chapter, Rotary Clubs, JCs, SEYAP, University of San Carlos. We also have CREBA. We have the Professional for Active Citizenship and Transformation. And we are joined here by many sectors for the initial works. And I am calling other institutions to come and join us in the areas stated. Our initial collaboration, we are the communications group. We launch a daily radio, TV, social media, fostering for massive education, information, update drive for the general public on how to curb transmission and also to influence behavior of the public so that health protocols of social distancing, wearing of masks, sanitizing, etc. are being implemented. Secondly, we recognize the immediate need to help our healthcare professionals. Hence, we shall appeal for financial, material, logistical supports, help establish even two off-site dialysis centers with Go Negosyo, Project ARC, and also the conduct of pool testing. We also support DOH with what Dr. Jean earlier said, the blood plasma bank, among others. To the government, the LGUs and other agencies, we offer our advice, our talents as volunteers to assist you in governance work and of course in crafting the local level economic stimulus programs. And we shall ensure and self-audit our member companies to comply with new work health standards and protocols to avoid workplace transmission while ramping up our business operations. So these are a few of the initiatives, and we want that all sectors work together with us so that we'll be able to help, to help the government, DOH, LGU, and all other sectors. We should work together and heal as one. Thank you.
Thank you very much po, Chairman Espleta, sa inyo pong impormasyon kung paano po nagko-cope ang business sector sa Cebu City. Maraming salamat din po sa inyong lahat dahil po nakasama namin kayo ngayong hapon na ito. Pero bago ho tayo magkaroon ng huling mensahe, gusto lang ho namin magtanong sa inyo ukol po sa mga ilang katanungan ng ating mga kababayan. Umpisaan ko po kay ASEC John G. ASEC, sa paano pong paraan magkakatulungan ang public and business sector upang maging parte po ng solusyon sa laban natin sa COVID-19? Paano po kaya mababawasan ang adverse economic impact ng pandemyang ito sa atin? ASEC John G. ASEC John G. ASEC, nakamute yata po kayo.
Two things, Yusek Vergeri, prevention and early diagnosis. No matter how prepared Cebu City is, even with the help of the national government and private sector, if we do not promote behavioral change, because this will definitely be a long haul. And until we have a vaccine, we therefore encourage the continued support of the business sector and the information offices of the national government agency through their corporate social responsibility. We should create together a massive information drive. Wear masks, social distancing, proper hand washing, and follow strictly the health protocols. Discipline is the key. For early diagnosis, dito kami sa Cebu and the Visayas, we have augmented our testing in Visayas even before the national government stepped in. To augment the testing capacity in Central Visayas and Western Visayas, Christina Lee Dino Foundation through OPAB donated 3 RT-PCR machines, 2 of which were given to Cebu TBRL and 1 to EVRTC Region 8. 2 automated extraction machine, 20,000 test kits, 12,500 extraction kits, and 18,000 swab kits distributed across the Visayas region. I urge the business sector, even the NGA's information offices, to align with government and produce communication campaign on prevention and early diagnosis. If we do not do this together, we will just get sick. We will also not be able to put back to good health our ailing economy. Our dear President Duterte and Senator Bongo and the DOH are doing their best together with the entire cabinet and the government bureaucracy, including the business sector, so that we will win against this pandemic and we will heal as one. Yusek Bergeri.
Thank you very much, Asek John G. Suportado po namin kayo dyan po sa mga sinasabi nyo. And hopefully nga po, ito pong ating panawagan na magkatulong-tulungan tayo with the other sectors of society para po naman magkaroon na ho tayo ng ease dito po sa ating pandemic situation ngayon. Thank you, Asek John G. Now, can we ask Dr. Loreche sa mga nagnanais pong makatulong at gustong mag-donate ng kanilang plasma upang gamiting panggamot sa mga pasyente, paano po nila mapapadala ang kanilang tulong sa Cebu patients? Dr. Loreche?
Okay, kami po ay nagpapasalamat doon po sa mga gustong mag-donate. So pwede naman po yan ipadala diretso po dito sa Subnational Blood Services Center natin, dito po sa loob ng compound ng Department of Health sa Region 7. But then kami po ay nananawagan din po sa mga donors natin, hindi lang po sa ating convalescent plasma, kundi para po talaga kailangan po natin ng dugo. I keep repeatedly saying this, and I even went to see Sec Mike Dino, and Asik Junji was there when I was, appealing to them and asking for their help, which they have given us naman, that the rainy days are here, dengue season is up again, and there will be operations, there will be patients who will be needing, especially the dialysis patients who will be needing blood. Sa kaalaman po natin lahat, ang Subnational Blood Center lang po ngayon ang gumagana na blood center sa Visayas po, kasi ang iba po ay hindi po muna nagba-bloodletting, nakafocus po ang lahat sa COVID, at naiintindihan po namin yan. So kami po ang nagsusupply ng mga pangailangan dugo, both sa private at sa public sector po. So kailangan po namin ng mga donors po na dapat tumulong po, kasi malay natin, minsan ikaw naman po ang nangangailangan ng dugo at kaya po natin ibigay yan kung tulong-tulong po tayo.
Thank you, Doktora. Susundan ko na po ng isa pang katanungan. Nabalita po sa atin ni Secretary Duque at ni Yusek Vega kahapon mula po sa kanilang pagbisita dyan sa Cebu kung paano po nakakapacitate ang ating government hospitals to help Cebu City, particularly Vicente Soto Memorial Medical Center. How are the supporting private hospitals there?
Maganda po talaga na hetong Vicente Soto po, being a level 3 also, na-convert naman po natin ito as a COVID hospital. Kaya sabi ko po kanina na mas madali po siyang mag-expand, kasi meron naman po siyang adequate manpower, meron naman po siyang mga specialista, kanya pong mga equipment, ang kanya mga PPEs and supplies, nandiyan naman po. Even ang mga gamot na kakailanganin ng pasyente. So yun pong mga pasyente na galing po sa mga pribadong hospital, kung sila po ay nangangailangan na ilipat po sa ating government institution, kayang-kaya po yan ng ating mga specialista sa Vicente Soto. One other beautiful thing with Vicente Soto is this, meron po silang area, no, na parang it's a step-down facility na sila din po ang nagmamanage nito. So for those patients na pwede na pong ilipat, no, dito para lang matuloy ang kanilang pagpagamutan, whether they're moderate to severe, no, na ililipat na po nila because this facility is also manned by the manpower or the healthcare professionals of Vicente Soto.
Thank you, Doktora, no, for that answer. No? Nakikita ho natin talaga yung suporta, especially by our government facility in Cebu, para po mabigyan din ng tugon, no, itong atin pong sitwasyon dyan sa lugar ninyo. Dr. Yong, para naman po sa katanungan po sa inyo, paano daw po makakalahok ang mga interested frontliners na tumulong sa Cebu para sa COVID-19? Dr. Yong?
Yes, we need all the help we can get. No, as what I said earlier, it's a race against time. No, the worst thing that can happen to is to create panic and chaos when people can't get into the hospitals. It creates a lot of chaos and panic. So as hospital providers, we are racing against time to provide more beds. No, for more we can accept more COVID cases. But at the same time, if beds are useless if we don't have doctors. So if doctors can volunteer, we'll gladly accept them. We'll even house them and they'll provide meals as long as they can help us lang talaga. No? And we're very helpful that the DOH has sent a lot of nurses to us. In that way, we'll be able to accept more and more cases. No? At the same time, we're trying our best also to protect our frontliners, no? Our nurses, our doctors who haven't seen their families for as long as 3 to 4 months already. We're thankful that they're still in the fight with us. We should support them and protect them and provide them with very good PPEs. We bought a lot of respirators lately for them. And then to show them also that they're not alone and we're gathering even more help from the DOH, from the Army, from the Navy, so that their morale will be lifted and they will be able to help more, no? In that way.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yong. Sana nga po, no, matulungan po natin ang ating Cebu City at ang ating mga facilities doon para po sa mga volunteer na mga healthcare workers para mas madagdagan po ang kanilang health human resources for health at nang makaagapay po tayo dito sa mga lugar na ito. And lastly, Chairman Espleta, ano po ang inyong mensahe sa mga business owners at sa publiko ngayon pong nagbabalik na ang pagbubukas po ng ekonomiya? Chairman Espleta.
Yeah, bago ko sagutin yan, gusto ko lang suportahan yung ang sinabi kanina ni Asek John G. When we talk about massive information drive, the group, our group has already mobilized 15 radio stations, which will air 1 hour per day, and we invite experts in health, civic leaders, sectoral leaders, and tomorrow we start with Archbishop Jose Palma. You will hear that in DYRC, DYLA, DYAB, Yes FM, Yes Best FM, Monster Radio, DYRF, and all other KBP radio stations. I think 15 of them will hook up. So we will do this massive information drive to also educate and to make sure the behavior of our people, we try to convince them, we try to make them, follow our protocols. Secondly, yung sinabi ni Dr. Jean, binanggit ko kanina yung support ng plasma. We've been talking about it. I'm very happy that you have taken this as a special project because our past presidents have been egging to help you on this. No? Because one of our past presidents is right now in the ICU, and he was just Dr. Yong knows about this, no? And I think he was just infused plasma. And thirdly, also we are working together with DOH in setting up the 2 off-site dialysis centers. Hopefully one in SMCP side, and the other one, hopefully we're negotiating with another mall. And this is in cooperation with Go Negosyo, Project ARC, and also pool testing. We have been helped also by Congressman Garin. And to your question about the advice to the business, can I just please show my last slide? To the business owners, we know that we have incurred unimaginable losses in the past 4 months. But up to the last mile, up to the last blood, we should survive. We should help each other survive. Profit is a bonus na lang. As many of you, many of us say, 2020 is already down the drain. What we need to do is just to survive. If there is profit, that is a bonus. Let us ensure that while we prevent virus transmission in the workplace, our obligation to our workers extend beyond paying their salaries. Let us take care of our people's mental health as well, as we know that many of our employees are even afraid in coming back to work. They are scared. We need to build confidence for our people and for our customers. Let us make testing, tracing, and treating the new normal protocol as we reopen our businesses. We are lobbying that every establishment should endeavor to have their workplaces be certified safe. And to the Chamber of Commerce, in fact, we initiated and we are asking our member companies that they should appoint a HIPCO. We call that HIPCO, Health and Infection Prevention Control Officer, who will oversee, to make sure the implementation of the new work health standards are being done. And we will rate them accordingly. It's not only mere compliance, and we would like you will be rated as far as the compliance, no? May star rating yan, no? And I've discussed this with the mayor about putting this as a, as a requirement. No? Maybe some businesses may not like this, but reality is this is the new normal, that we have to be certified safe. Let us have our workplace be certified safe as we rebuild confidence and the image of Cebu. This is a concern for us because we have been building a very good image in Cebu. We have been campaigning for this good image, and now we need to work doubly hard so that we will recover that confidence and the image of Cebu as a place to revisit, a place to invest, a place where life and livelihood could resume its balance. Let us work together. Let us heal as one.